Well, I take this moment once again to invite you to this particular tutorial as we learn about SAMP, WAMP, or that is simply a database. So here we want to have some understanding. How do we go about PHP? We are doing a connection to the database, and then we would also want to post some data to the database. But first things first, setting up the environment. After you have installed your SAMP, you can access the SAMP from the installation folder. And let me just show you where you would find it. You would find it in the installation folder. Like in my case, I go to my a long time ago we used to call this my computer, but it's called this PC. There is a reason why that was done. So I have my programs installed generally at C. C is the default where all your programs are installed, unless you otherwise change or direct. So inside here you would find that SAMP does not go under the programs. Usually you would find program files or program files. This is for programs that are actually 32-bit in nature, and this one is now for the 64. But there are a number of programs that will not go in there, and one of them is SAMP. You would find it out here. So inside SAMP you need to open that SAMP. There are so many other files, but we are not interested with those many other files. We want to know where do we build our project. So our project will be built within this particular platform in this folder called htdocs. So you open that htdocs, and here you make the folder of your own say the project you want to develop. So for this day I just want to look at a program here. I want to look at yes, so I'm going to create a project here, and I'm calling it maybe secure LAP. Yes, secure LAP is my project. So once I have my project here, then I need to begin doing the development and then save all my files here which are in PHP. Okay, I'm going to show you how that is going to happen. Because already had done this project earlier on, for the purpose of learning, I'll just move them. I would move my documents from wherever I saved them and then bring them right here. So I'll come back here. I'm gonna pick from here, and I'm just going to paste this. I'm going to paste this. Okay. So once I paste this inside here, for me to be able to access this particular folder from the browser, because it's now localhost, which is already running. If yours is not running, you need to, of course, you come here and then you will tap on this one. Will be like start. Okay, you start that one. But because mine is already running, once it is running like this, you just click on the admin. It will take you to a page like this one. And from here, you come to PHP admin. So at this point in time, I want to just show you how to import a database that already was made and exported from another environment. Of course, I mean another computer perhaps. So you want to import that one and use it for your learning or for the purpose of developing your project. So I'll come back here. I'll come back here, and then I'll look for import. Yes, import. Then import means you bring it on. You bring it home here. Export means you take it out. So we need to choose a file that we are importing from. For this case, you remember we had our project already, made, pre-made. So you'd find it under the SAMP, under the htdocs. Then you will look for your, this is my project. I already had it. This is it. It has extension.sql. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'll say open. Okay, so with this, I don't need to check any other thing. I'll allow the default selections to be there. Then I will simply say import. Okay, so you can see that import has been successfully finished. 7 queries executed. My SQL returned an empty, said 0 rows. Query took that kind of second. This is a fraction of a second. So I have my my database actually is called laptop check. It is here now. That is the database. Anytime you create a database, this is what you will see. There are other concepts like schema and other things. So if I want to see what is below it, I will just use this expand stroke collapse button. I click on it. You can see I have check logs, I have laptops, I have users. So like if I click on users, you would find that under users, you have this is the first field, this is the second field, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. If I wanted to see the structure of this table, I would do this, because those are already some words. This is not real data, so please don't worry. This is not real data. This is just some dummy data. So this is the structure of our database, the table in the database. This is relational using SQL. So we have the first one, which is ID, and this ID is auto increment, meaning every time you add a record, the number change, is actually increased by 1. So if the first one is number 1, the second will be number 2, number 3, incrementally in that manner. Okay. So now, having been able to do the importation, and I've shown you auto increment what it means, but we have put it here. There's this key. It means that this is a primary key. A primary key is simply a unique identifier of the record in a table, a unique identifier. So that means you cannot have two IDs. It cannot work. Okay, I have that there. If I want to restructure this table, I can be able to do that. I can drop a given column, that is a field. I can change it and add another one, and many other transactions that I may want to do here. I can actually do it. So again, having mentioned that, let me just show you now how am I supposed to access my project. Remember, we created our project here at this secure API, and we have it under the SAMP htdocs secure API. So how then do we access it? So you come back here to the browser, open the tab, and here where you are supposed to enter the URL, just type localhost, like that, stroke, localhost, stroke. What is the name of our project? It was just secure LAPI. Then you had index.php. Okay. What is the meaning of that? Inside here, you have seen there is this particular file called index. Index is the primary. It is a basic page that the server understands that this is the first one to be loaded. Okay, it will not be it will not be able to do a lot of processing to know which is which. Once it sees a name index, it knows that this is the first page, and it will load it without much of trouble. Unlike if I just did this one, like register, every time I want to access this one, I must call it by its name. But if the basic one, you have to call it index.php. So let's go back there where we were in the browser. Like now I'm here. if I hit on enter, you can see I have some page here. The page is not well precast. I mean, it doesn't look nice. The reason here is that I'm using a library, much of we call it the CSS and the Bootstrap. Actually, Bootstrap is accessible online. So because I am offline, that is why you may not be able to see the structure coming out very clearly. But nevertheless, let me just show you the concept. So what we have been able to do behind the scenes, this is what you will see. But behind the scenes, inside that particular root, in the root, yes, that is the root. From here, what we have been able to do, if you look at this includes, we have our PHP files inside here, and there is one that is called db.php. This is the one I want you to look at carefully. I'm opening it, and it is coming this way. Yes. So this is what we have. I'm using Visual Code Studio. So we have defined here the beginning of a file, PHP is here. Then data host, the DB host this is what we call the local host. The database we are using is a local host. We are getting the environment, and then we have the local host. We also want to get the environment for the DB name, which is called the laptop check, and you saw that one when I was doing the importation. Then the DB user, we have given it the root. Root means the user of that particular computer, not the person. It's actually the computer, that computer. We are giving it the privileges of the computer that the server is running on. Then we have given the password as empty, because we do not want really to set the password, because we have not set a password on our database. Then this is what we call PHP PDO. I am going to try before I even catch the error. So the trial here, we create a variable here, use a $sign to create a variable. Then we are saying new PDO, and then we are passing array of these elements this way. You have DB host, you have DB name and database user, and then database pass. The pass has nothing as such, and the user, the DB name uses a standard which is given here, and of course even the DB name uses some standard that is provided here. So and then we have PDO, and then attribute emode, PDO environment execution, PDO. So this one is just to try. We are trying. If there's an error, we will catch that error down here, and then we print the error. So that is for connectivity, connection. Let me just go back and show you something on the other hand. That is for connection. But if we were to add a user, for example, we have one for registration, register user. Let me just open the register user. This one has got both the form, which is running. You can see at the beginning here, we are saying require include DB. This is now to call include, that is database, the one which is doing the connection. Then we have this if server is that, and then we are able to pass. This is what we are passing: full name, phone. These are the things we are capturing from the table. The table is here. I mean, not the table, but our form is here. So we are capturing this one up here, and we are actually cleaning our data before we post. And this is how you would be able to do what? Posting of data. Like now we are saying, once you have requested, because a server that request post, full name, that is a variable, phone, a variable, email, a variable, and you have given them the names that match with the ones on the form, then here you prepare your statement like this. We are inserting data to users. This is the data we want, and the values are in question mark. That is how we deal with PHP using PDO, object-oriented one. Great, thank you. I will welcome you in the next one. So